How's it going? It is all the news, and it is lovely to see you here, have you here, valued viewers. Today we're looking at an interesting concept called the presumption of innocence. Presumption of innocence is a fundamental principle behind the right to a fair trial, and it is that every person should be presumed to be innocent unless and until proven guilty. So you are innocent until you are proven in a court of law to be guilty. This is a fundamental principle of law across most of the world. Okay, so bear that in mind for the following stories. Adult Swim cuts ties with Justin Roiland following domestic abuse charges. Charges, not guilty, he's just been charged with stuff. Rick and Morty is set to continue because it makes loads of money, but Roiland's voice roles are to be recast, the sources say. Adult Swim has cut ties with Justin Roiland in the wake of news, so there's been a news report, that the Rick and Morty co-star was charged with felony domestic abuse in Orange County, California. Adult Swim, where's it gone? Adult Swim has ended its association with Justin Roiland based on nothing more than some charges and some accusations. Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, Boomerang, Senior Vice President, Communications, there's a whole lot of adjectives here, Marie Moore, said in a statement Tuesday. So she's making her decisions and making her actions based on no proof whatsoever, just accusations. And she's causing people's lives to be harmed, their businesses to be ruined, their legacies to be ruined based on nothing more than allegations by anonymous people. Adult Swim distributes Rick and Morty, the hit adult animation comedy that Roiland co-created, executive produced, and he voices both the characters, Rick and Morty. Basically, he is Rick and Morty. As the Hollywood Reporter reported on January 17th, Adult Swim isn't even halfway through the 70-episode order for the show, one of the brand's most popular titles, commissioned in 2018. They say it's going to continue, of course they do, because it makes money, with Roiland's voice roles to be recast, although Roiland will always be credited as co-creator. Well, I'm sure that will keep him warm in the coldness of the night, knowing that his name's on some piece of paper somewhere. Fellow co-creator Dan Harmon will now be the lone showrunner. The show is locked in through season 10. I think it's on season 7 at the moment. It's been going downhill, though, to be honest, in my personal opinion. It was crazy, but then it got a bit formulaic, but that's just my personal opinion. As you can see, it's the usual stuff. He's been charged. Let's have a look at the charges themselves. On January 12th, NBC News was the first to report Roiland was charged with one count of domestic battery with corporeal injury. Now, this is quite low level. It's quite a low level charge. The next one above it is grievous bodily injury. So you've got domestic battery. That can be anything from a cut finger to bruising, which is corporeal injury, and one count of false imprisonment by menace, violence, fraud, or deceit. This could be something like you've been told to stay somewhere, believe you should stay somewhere, you didn't stay somewhere. So in my personal opinion, these are quite low level comparatively charges, because the charges go way up from here. So this is probably quite a low level incident, and that's what he's been charged with. He hasn't been found guilty of it, just someone has said he's done this. Let's have a little look. And this is based on an alleged 2020 incident with an unnamed person, anonymous person, that Roiland was dating. He's pled not guilty, and in 2020 was released on bond. Several pre-trial hearings have already occurred. Roiland is expected to return to court in April 27. His lawyer says this reporting of the case has been inaccurate. To be clear, it's not only is Justin innocent, but we also have every expectation that this matter is going to be dismissed once the district attorney's office has completed its methodical review of the evidence. So his lawyer says it's going to be chucked out of court anyway, but that doesn't stop people throwing him out of his own business and destroying his company based on nothing but charges. Again, going back to the presumption of innocence. You are innocent until proven in court to be guilty. And we've seen this so many times. We've seen it in Marilyn Manson cases where his accusers are all saying the same thing, literally the same thing on the same day. They're all saying that they're the same place and the same time. and the whole thing is just insane. And now they're dropping out of the case like flies. Prince Andrew, there he is. His accuser has recanted her statements about someone else, saying she was mistaken, she wasn't actually there. There's all sorts of craziness going on. We've got Dame Anne Gloag. If we can't go back up for some reason. Dame Anne Gloag, she's been charged with people trafficking. These are charges. She hasn't been found guilty. She hasn't gone to court. She hasn't had a chance to present her side of the trial. All we see is headlines in newspapers as if she's already been sentenced and is off to jail. And it's happening again and again and again. Everyone said Prince Andrew was a paedophile, sex abuser, and now we're seeing that this woman is recanting and saying she wasn't even there. Marilyn Manson, same situation, and we've got more accusations here. Same thing with Johnny Depp. The whole thing is just, I mean, we keep going back to this same problem of it's always fun to have these headlines, and it always makes great copy, and people always click on it, and people always buy the newspapers. But it has to be this presumption of innocence. The people have to be given a chance to actually have their day in court. You can't just accuse people and that's it, cancel them, throw them away, next person. Oh, the next person, we don't like him. Oh, let's make up some sort of claim and that gets rid of them. And the next one, we don't like them. What about this guy? Oh, I'll make up a claim about this guy. And what about this woman? I'll make up a claim about this person. You can't do that. You have to have this innocent until proven guilty principle. You can't just say, well, she's a mass murderer, or she stabbed some donkey or something. Oh, this guy set fire to something. This person over here stole some cars. You can't just accuse people. They have to have their time in court, their day in court, to put their evidence and prove. You have to prove they're guilty, not they have to prove they're innocent. And I'm just seeing it again and again and again, and Johnny Depp as well, and again and again and again. And the lack of the presumption of guilt is gone through the roof, but it should be the presumption of innocence. This is my personal opinion about the whole issue. Let me know your thoughts. I will see you guys later.